你好吗? Welcome. Hey, I'm happy you're watching again. No matter where I go, I'm always amazed at how proud people are of their heritage. But as time passes, customs evolve. Simple things become more sophisticated. And in my line of work, that leads to fantastic food. Today, we're going to make some great traditional foods that have a few new surprises. But first, New York City. Here we come. After San Francisco, New York has the oldest and biggest Chinatown in the U.S. for more than half a century. My friend Henry Chung has been a fixture here. He is the unofficial mayor of Chinatown. And here is one of the oldest stores in Chinatown. It has been here for more than a century.
Actually, the store was started by my grandfather and a group of people with him in 1891.
1891?
Yeah, and he actually came here before then. But back in 1891, they had this wooden carving sent here from China. The sign was carved in China, I think in the village. That's a company name, Bong Yun Sing. And then they just brought a lot of things from back there when we first started out. We were actually back then an herbalist. That was one of our main businesses. Somewhere in the 30s, I think, we might have been sued by the federal government for practicing medicine without a license. So we left that business. Now, we're importing porcelain, things like that.
It is truly historical, and it's a continuation of the tradition and history. It's wonderful.
It's a heavy responsibility, I'll tell you. I worry about it all the time, but it's great. We really we enjoy it. I'm born and raised here. My father was born and raised in the neighborhood, so.
Long history.
Yeah, it's great.
One of the most knowledgeable experts about the history of Chinatowns is Professor Jack Chan of New York University. And we have been debating for 3 hours sitting here. Where does chop suey started? And I believe in San Francisco because most of the Chinese, I believe, or I was told, started landing in San Francisco.
Our theory is that chop suey actually began around 1896 when the foreign minister, Li Hongzhang from China, came to visit, and he stayed at the Plaza Hotel. After his visit, you start getting chop suey signs showing up. We serve chop suey in some of the Chinese restaurants in New York. Sure, most people think that Chinese first arrived in San Francisco and then they came east, and that's true. In the 1870s, you had Chinese all over the West Coast working, reclaiming land. They were the first farmers in a lot of the large farms that we now have in San Francisco. They built the roads and all these things. As anti-Chinese agitation increased, especially in California, more and more Chinese began to look for other things to do. They couldn't work in the factories, they couldn't work on the farms. They began to come east. And coming east, they began to start up laundry work. All you needed was a washboard, some soap, some water, and you could wash laundry. So that in New York, in the 1870s, you have a lot of laundry workers beginning to settle all around the metropolitan area. So that's really how Chinatown begins to emerge in New York, is really as a home base for laundry workers. And later on, when the restaurant tourist industry began and people began eating Chinese food and chop suey and chow mein and all these things, then restaurant workers would take Monday off and come to Chinatown on Mondays. I think chop suey is a good example of the creative transformation that goes on in these Chinatowns. So on the one hand, they're taking a peasant dish that they are used to and that sustains them, and then they transform it into something that will help them make business, so that the Chinese restaurants really begin to emerge out of dishes such as chop suey, in which non-Chinese people begin coming and eating them.
Just down the street from the Museum of Chinese in Americas is Ping, a restaurant that proves how far Chinese cuisine has come since chop suey. Chef Ping Hui has a unique soup pot, totally organic. Just carve out a honeydew melon. The ingredients go in, then the soup stock. Cover it up. It is ready for steaming. This is almost as good as my mom's chicken soup, and you don't have to worry about washing the pot. Now for some steamed tofu. The unique thing about this dish is that the meat is put on top instead of being stuffed inside. Steam it for 10 minutes and garnish. Back in the chop suey days, they didn't worry much about presentation. Today, Chef Peng Hui adds steamed gailan for color and extra texture. Last but not least, deep fried prawns with shredded coconut. Coat the prawns with unsweetened desiccated coconut, then fry and wok until they're golden brown. To top it off, we are adding scallops and crab meat to the seafood platter. I can't resist the taste.冇得頂啊! What a banquet. Still steaming, smells good, looks good. Like the Chinese said, 色香味齊全啊, means color, aroma, and now the taste. What a joy to dine with the owners and Chef Peng Hui. All these wonderful dishes, they are today's contribution to a tradition that started more than a century ago, right here in New York Chinatown on Mott Street. I love fruit. I love mango. That's why every night before I go to sleep, I always have fruit. Fruit is good for you, just like vegetable. What I'm doing is I cut the mango piece out and I score it this way. Little score. I want to show you how you can eat mango. You see this? When you open it up, they look like this. So you can, look at this. It's how cute, like a porcupine, okay? This is how you can use a spoon, just scoop it out. Very easy to serve mango. We're going to put it over here. We're going to serve it later. But in the meantime, I'm going to show you how you can cut mango. Cut the skin, of course. You can do it this way, but this is how I would do it. I put this over here, and this is how I remove the skin. Look at this. The whole thing comes out like that, okay? And then I cut this up into little pieces because I'm going to have some rainbow melon and mango. You can use any combination of fruit. I have honeydew, mango, watermelon, and cantaloupe. All kind of fruit, nice and colorful. Now, how do you do this? You do the same thing. This is cantaloupe. All you have to do is remove these, okay? Get rid of these. And then you cut it into little pieces like that. And then the same thing. Remove the skin by cutting it like this. See that? And then you can do the same thing by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And put it right here. You can have all of these. So simple. Now, in the meantime, I'm going to show you how to do this wonderful dish. I will have some seafood because I'm going to have to do seafood with rainbow melon. This is shrimp. This is scallop. How do you remove the shell from the shrimp and have the tail intact? All you have to do is start on this end. Push once and push twice. And the whole thing comes out like this. And then the tail is here and the whole body is here with the tail intact. And then you butterfly this. Go on to this, butterfly. Sometimes you see vein, sometimes you don't, okay? No vein. And then I hold on to this because if you don't do it like this, when they fry or pan fry, they curl up. So what you do is you go like this. And then you can actually even score a little bit if you want. And you press this and use a little toothpick. Push this on this side, okay? Push. Push the whole thing through the entire shrimp. You see this? This whole thing like this. And then I'm going to set aside. I'm going to show you how easy it is to do this particular dish. First, I have some egg wash here, okay? This is egg wash, and this is the coating. I have sesame seed with breadcrumb, desiccated, non-sweet, desiccated coconut. You put right here, and you toss these a little bit aside, okay? And then you put the shrimp with an egg wash. Look at that. Put it here. Another one, egg wash. Put it right here. Very, very simple, okay? And you deep fry this in hot oil. About 325 degrees, okay? Now, look at this. How can you tell whether the oil is hot enough for deep fried food. For seafood, you don't want to make too hot. About 325 to 330. This is Chinese thermometer, bamboo chopstick. You put it in here, you see the bubble started to come out. When the bubble started to come out, very slowly, it is ready. Now the ready is not ready yet at this point. And then we're going to pan fry our scallop because we're going to have scallop here. Okay. Now look at this. Look at the bubble comes out. Look at that. Look at the bubble. Whoa, that means the oil is hot enough. You know why this bubble? Because there's some moisture in the bamboo chopstick, and it comes out, and the oil kind of get rid of the bubble, the moisture in the bamboo steamer. You put this over here, and you put this over here, and you let it deep fry. While you're deep frying this at a low temperature, oh, let me make sure. Whoa, this is nice and golden brown. This is nice and golden brown. This is a wonderful piece of scallop. In the meantime, I'm going to show you how to make a simple dressing. Here, I have some mayonnaise, some rice vinegar, sesame seed oil, white pepper, tiny bit of honey. You see? Tiny bit of honey. And then, now this is important, wasabi. You go to sushi bar, you see a lot of wasabi. This is wasabi, already mixed with water. This is the wasabi in powder forms, okay? Then you can mix it with water. You have this wonderful dressing. Now, if you want to make it a little bit more interesting, put a tiny bit more vinegar, a tiny bit of sesame seed oil, and then you whip it up like this. Whoa, look at that. Whip this up. Wonderful dressing. And you toss all the fruits, including all the fruits, okay? And bean sprout, add texture into this. And toss this. Look at this. We toss this with a chopstick. And I'm gonna, how do you serve these? This is how you do it. Look at that. First, you garnish the plate with some orange, thin slice of orange. And then you put this right in here, right in here. Oh, beautiful. This is the rainbow salad. And then the shrimp is nice and golden brown. And the scallop is done. Beautiful. Nice and golden brown on both sides. And then you're going to serve this. This is how you do it, okay? Scallop on one side, pan-fried scallop on the other side, shrimp, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And of course, another scallop which is water blanch on one side, another scallop on the other side. Look at that. This is what we have here. Look at the beautiful rainbow melon and seafood salad. I'm cutting some tofu. This is silken tofu, soft tofu. I use a little cookie cutter. You see, the whole thing comes out like this, like a little tube like that. Now, you go to the store, you can buy soft tofu, firm tofu, or extra firm tofu. I cut this in half, like that. You see this? This is the very soft tofu. I put it right over here. See that? And then, in the meantime, I have something going to pan fry. You see this? I pan fry this right over here. Pan fry this. Pan fry this. Now I have a few pan fried already. I'm going to do a yin-yang color or two-color tofu. I'm going to show you how easy it is to do the whole thing. Here, I have some spare rib, okay? Some spare rib. I'm going to marinate the spare rib right over here. Let us put the marinade spare rib. And I have some garlic, ginger, and chili. Put them all in, okay? Chopped garlic, ginger, and chili. Put them all in. Black bean sauce. You can make your own black bean sauce by using this salted black bean. Now, when you buy salted black bean, they're in plastic bags like this. Dry, you soak them. You see the difference in color? This is dry, this is soaked. See that? When you soak, they rehydrate a little bit, and I crushed this a little bit with the knife. How you do it? I put this right over here, and I go crush it like this to release the flavor. And I put this black beans, salted black bean here, and a tiny bit of sugar, okay, and a tiny bit of salt, not much, just a teeny tiny bit, and a tiny bit of cornstarch. Always use cornstarch to bind the juice, keep everything moist. Tiny bit of homemade soup stock, okay, beautiful, homemade soup stock, and dark soy, dark soy. Put them all together. Look at the color change. Look at the color change, huh? Dark soy. Now, if you don't want to make your own black bean sauce, you can go to the store and buy a little jar like this. This is black bean sauce already. You can buy them in a already made for you. So in the last minute, all you have to do is put it right in here, okay? That's all you have to do. Finally, tiny bit of sesame seed oil. Mix them all up, toss it in, and then I'm going to show you how to present the whole thing, okay? Very, very simple. Now, this is Chinese celery, a little bit stronger than the regular celery, the whole thing like this, skinnier. I'm going to chop this up a little bit and sprinkle it in. 1, 2, 3. You see? Sprinkle some of these to add flavor. You can use onion. And then we're going to show you how to present the whole thing. Oh, this is very good. Look at the golden brown color of the tofu. Look at how beautiful this is. Golden brown color. And then we're going to present this. We'll put the tofu, 2-color tofu. 2-color tofu, put it right here. Okay? Look at that. And then we'll put the rib right in the middle. Right in the middle. This way, a little bit different than what Chef Ping was doing. The Chef Ping was actually putting the whole thing on top of lotus leaf, but it's very difficult to find lotus leaf. That's why I do it like this. So it cooks much faster. And also, let's put this right over here and steam it for about 12 to 16 minutes. And of course, to save everybody's time, I have done one already. Underneath here, I'm going to show you. We'll take it out. Wow, look at that. How beautiful this is. 2-color tofu, black bean spare ribs. Whoa, finally, last cut. I'm cutting a melon, a honeydew melon, with this triangle tool, a garnishing tool that you can buy in Chinatown, any gourmet shop. Now, this is what Chef Ping Hui is doing. For 4 to 6 people, use a big melon. For me, I use only half of it because I'm doing party for 2. Or you can use a knife to do this too. Look at this. You cut it, and you cut it, and you cut it, and you cut it. A beautiful melon. Melon bowl. This is a cooking vessel, okay? Or serving vessel. We'll put it over here. The next thing I want to show you is I'm going to cut up some meat. I have pork and shrimp and scallop. I'm going to cut up some chicken. Butterfly this first. Cut it up into little strips. Cut it into little strips. In the meantime, I'm boiling some water for water blanching. Cut it up into little chunks like this, okay? Every time you use poultry or any meat on a cutting board, make sure you clean up your cutting board, okay? Now, here, I'm going to water blanch this. Put this in. Chicken. And a tiny bit of meat and shrimp. Just water blanch it just a little bit, okay? This way, your soup will be nice and clean. In the meantime, make sure, as usual, every time you cut poultry, people always, hey, make sure you're clean. Just quickly clean this a little bit, including this, and wipe this out. Everything is nice and clean. You see this? Very simple and easy. And then we're going to get ready to cook. All you have to do is take this out. This is water. Can you see how cloudy this is? What you're doing is you quickly water blanch this and get rid of some of the blood on the surface of this and the protein. And then you put this right in this melon bowl right here. You see this? Melon bowl. Oh, we save these for later. We don't need the whole thing, okay? We put this melon bowl right here. And then we put the rest of the ingredient. Let me show you. The rest of the ingredient, I have some ham, smoked ham, straw mushroom, carrot, few pieces of ginger, and some green peas right here. And then some salt and pepper, simple seasoning. Sometimes simple seasoning can be just as good. And then a tiny bit of homemade soup stock right here. Oh, look at this. That's all you have to do. And you take it over there, and you're going to steam this right here in the wok. Look at this. Whoa. Put it right here. Now, Chef Ping serve this kind of banquet to a lot of people all the time. So always a big melon bowl like this. But as I said, he also covered this up. If you do that, you have to steam it for about 4 hours. This way, I'm going to steam it for at the most 10 to 12 minutes, up to half an hour. Okay? Because all the things already water blanched. It's wonderful. You know, look at this. This is nice and done. I'm going to challenge my endurance and see whether I can do it. 1, 2, and 3. Ah! Whoa, look at this. This is so beautiful. Ah, this is what I have. So it is double steamed melon bowl soup. Looks so good, smells so good. Oh, final touch, color contrast. It is a masterpiece, so light and refreshing, just like the song about New York say. If you can make it there, you can make it anywhere. If Yan can cook, so can you. 再见。